In the last lecture, we looked at strings in JavaScript, how to create them and how to work with them. In this lecture, I want to focus on some of the methods provided by strings in JavaScript, which can help you to, do quite a few things with the words, sentences, and all. Now, if you if you have done programming, if you have been in the IT industry, you would be knowing that handling words and sentences is very important in programming, right? I mean, most of the time you're working with data, you're working with the strings, so to say, with text and all, and then you have to do all sorts of things like clean up and conversion of the case, then extracting string and stuff like that. So JavaScript strings provides quite a few utilities to help with these, and we are going to look at those now. The code and the tutorial lecture that I'm showing you here, this will all be available in GitHub. I'll share a link for that, and I'll walk you through the examples that I have here as we go through the lecture notes. So let's start. Before proceeding, let me open the developer console in Chrome. So developer console is an easy way to test out JavaScript programming. So for instance, I'll write a simple string, let's say str11 here, excuse me, and say I write here to be decided. Okay, right? This is my string. Okay, and if I say str11, it'll print out to be decided. Now let's go through the notes. First thing is length. How do you find the length of this string, right? We just created a string in single quotes. Now how do we find out the length? Now one of the core things you need to know is most of the things in JavaScript are objects. Okay, by object, I mean something which encapsulates data as well as behavior. Now, I'm not going to go into the details of object-oriented programming, but please check it out if you want to dive into the details. The idea is that string is also an object, right? And so what happens is you get a bunch of properties and methods which helps us to perform various operations. So length is one of the properties that is provided in string. Okay, so if I want to find out the length of this string, I can simply write str1 dot length, right? Okay, so this prints out 11, which happens to be the length of this string. Now if you notice, there is a difference between property and method. So you can access a property like this, but if you want to access a method like the one I'm going to show you next, let's talk about it. Or I'll probably just show you one. So indexOf is a method here. Okay, and indexOf actually prints the starting index of some substring. So if I want to see what is at what location is B available within this, then if you see, the index starts from 0. Okay, so 0 1 2, so it's available at 2. Okay, so that's a method that is available in this string, and methods can be called using parentheses. Okay, so that's the way, like that is the difference: property directly, method parentheses. Okay, let's move on. Now how do you get a character? Like if you want to extract a specific character from a string, like say I want to extract the third character, which is 0 1 2 3. Third character is E, right? So I can just say string11 dot, what is the method we have? Actually we don't have a method, we can just use array index for this. So I can just say 3 and it gives me E. Okay, because 0 1 2 3, so E is at index 3. So when I use this array notation, I hope you are a bit familiar with arrays. If not, it's okay, we are going to cover it in the next lecture. But you can use index to access a specific character within a string. Okay, so should be straightforward. Now, if you see, I have mentioned here that each character corresponds to an index. So if you see this hello word, so hello, H is at index 0, E is at index 1, L2, L3, O4. So you can easily access any of the characters using the index. And this is another quick thing I wanted to cover. Now, how do you get the index of a substring? Like I showed you just now, we can use indexOf method. Okay, so I have a string Jackma, and I want to find index of MA. If this string is first of all present or not. So if it's present, it will give me the index. If it's not present, let's say str1 dot index of, and let me give some random string, say random. Now this will give me -1 because it's not present. So this is one way to figure out if a string is actually, if a substring is actually present in a string or not. So these are all conveniences, utilities which are available, which helps you to work with strings in JavaScript. Okay. Next thing is, if you want to extract a substring from a string, then slice is a very convenient method for this. And you can use slice by giving a start index, like slice and start index and end index. Okay. So let's use a new string. Let's clear all this out. Let's say str5 is equal to, I'll use the same example, Jackma. Okay. So what I want to do is str5 dot slice. Now I want to extract starting from index 1 till index 4. Okay. Now if you see, it has printed ACK. Why? Because index 1 is A and index 3 is K. It excludes this last index which you give it. Okay, so it's from 1 to 3. It prints from 1 to 3. 1 is A, 2 is C, and 3 is K. Okay, what happens if you give just say 1? Okay, I'm sorry, str5 dot slice 1. So this will print everything starting from index 1. Because I'm not specifying an end index here, so it prints everything starting from index 1. So it's a good way to extract some substring from a given string. That's one of the frequently used methods in string, I'll say. Then how about changing the case of a string from lowercase to uppercase? You can use 2 lowercase for converting from uppercase to lowercase, and 2 uppercase for converting from lowercase to uppercase. So let's see this example. We have str5. I'll use 2 uppercase, and let's see what it prints. So it prints everything in caps. Okay, Jackma is in caps. Now if I print str5, you will notice that still you have Jackma because I haven't assigned this change to a string. Okay, so one thing is, you need to assign. If you want that change to reflect, then you need to assign. Okay, so if you see here, then now str5 will get this change. Okay, that's another convenient method. And the last one I want to discuss is this replace method. So if you want to replace a substring with another substring, you can use the replace method. Let's see how to do this. Say str6 is equal to, let's say, let str6, and let's say do get. Okay, now I want to change get to put. So what I can do is str6 dot replace. Okay, and I'll just, what I want to replace, I need to give first, and with what I need to replace, I'll give next. So then it will print out do put because get has been replaced by put. So these are some of the utilities you can use to work with strings in JavaScript. And obviously the JavaScript documentation is very helpful if you are stuck or you're looking for something specific. There are loads of other methods available, so feel free to check that out, and I'll post the link to this code and also to the blog. Okay, so see you in the next lecture. Bye.